All right, good morning, class, and welcome to week number 8. That is right, week number 8 of your 7314 class, which is your reference class. As always, I am your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin, and since we have reached our Wikipedia module, I figured it was a good time for me to do my whole Wikipedia spiel for this check-in video. So what we're going to do with this check-in video is I'm going to discuss Wikipedia. I'm going to a few things about Wikipedia. This is going to be mostly soapboxing, but I'm going to discuss a few things about Wikipedia, why I feel that the Wikipedia edit assignment is an important assignment for this course, why it is in the course, and also I'm going to talk about two of the broader implications that I see related to information and Wikipedia. I'm going to talk about Wikipedia editathons, and then I'm also going to talk about what I think are the potential dangers of something like Wikipedia that can be edited by pretty much anyone, anywhere, at any time. So we are going to dive into that. Before we get into that, though, we do have one discussion board question that I want to go ahead and address here. And this will be something of a course update. So actually, and I know I've mentioned this several times, and I'm going to keep mentioning it. So you probably will get tired of it, but oh well. This is for your own good that I keep mentioning it. So again, you have a purposeful law. I know this class is structured a little strangely, but it is by design, believe it or not. And you do have a little law right now where you're not doing a lot of discussion posts, or you're not doing discussion posts right now, actually. And the reason for that is so that you can go ahead and concentrate on the semester-long project. While you don't have discussions that you have to do, I do recommend you go ahead and put some dents into that semester-long project. Again, it takes some students roughly 40 hours to complete, so I don't want you all to be scrambling to complete that in the last 2 weeks of class, okay? The second thing that I want to say about the lack of discussion board posts or discussion board prompts right now is that this also does allow you to kind of focus and do some background research on Wikipedia and on LibGuides. Now, the LibGuide assignment isn't due until November the 29th, so it's still a ways out, but we did get a question about the LibGuide assignment, and so I am going to go ahead and just briefly, I'm going to have a whole video on LibGuides at some point, but briefly I am going to say a few things about the LibGuides here. So the LibGuide assignment, again, is due on November the 29th, and Candace was not able to actually access the LibGuide site, and so that caused her some concern, and I totally understand that. You're not going to be able to just to put everybody at ease, you're not going to be able to access the LibGuide site right now. What you're going to have to do is wait for me to actually create the logins, and I usually create those about a month before the due date, giving you roughly a month to actually truly complete that assignment. Now, having said that, in professional practice, you will probably be expected to complete a LibGuide in 2 days. So once you know what you're doing, so a month is plenty of time, and so I don't want you all to freak out. I know that you'll be just learning how to use the LibGuide feature, but trust me, if you have ever learned how to use Photoshop or Excel or InDesign or any of that stuff, then the LibGuide software is going to be pretty easy for you to navigate, okay? It's really, yes, it does take some adjusting and getting used to, but once you've gotten used to it, it is not going to take you, the learning curve on it is not as huge as, especially Excel, in my opinion, has like a long learning curve. But even things like Photoshop and InDesign and things like that, they have significant learning curves as well. So I want you all to don't panic about the LibGuide quite yet. I'm glad to see that people are working ahead, and people have been working ahead this semester. That's one of the credits that I definitely give to the class this semester, is that you all have been on it. You've been very proactive. You have not gotten behind on anything. I mean, a few students have gotten behind on a few things here and there, but for the most part, I'm very impressed with how this class has been on it. This has been, so far, one of my most just proactive and self-determined classes for 7314 that I've ever had. So keep that shit up because I really, really like what I'm seeing out of you guys. And it's something that I hope will continue throughout the duration of the semester. You all are doing a fantastic job. And trust me, I'm not just buttering y'all up. If I were disappointed in y'all, I would say it. I'm not one of these professors that's going to gas you up. Trust, that is not the Dr. Jace approach. But yes, sit tight on the LibGuides. I can create the LibGuides before the LibGuide logins before October 29th if you want me to. That's no problem, but I do have to get some other things first. There's some priorities that I just have to take care of. Professors are very busy, as is everybody. And then also you all saw my little 14-month-old. She does occupy quite a bit of time as well. So, but you're going to have plenty of time. And if you end up for some reason not having plenty of time, just let me know and I'll make the proper adjustments. So, just hang tight. It's going to be okay. And I'm also going to put some helpful resources that teach you how to do LibGuides in the course once I create the logins. But you'll get an email once your login is created. You'll get an email inviting you to the LibGuide site, and from there you are going to just go ahead, register, log in, and then you're going to get started. Okay, so that's it for LibGuides right now. Now let's talk a little bit of Wikipedia. First of all, let's look at that assignment prompt. Okay, so the Wikipedia edit assignment is due on October the 31st. So that is coming up. So I do hope that you all have, now I will keep it real also. Like some of my students have told me that they did you've got, upwards of about 2 weeks on that. Yeah, you've got over 2 weeks to complete the LibGuide assignment. So that's cool. I've had students tell me that they only devoted 5 or 6 hours to the Wikipedia edit assignment, and that was all they needed. Now, that's probably an outlier, but still, you've got plenty of time to complete that. But I do want to say a few things while your minds are on Wikipedia. So let's go ahead and let me say those few things. So first of all, yes, this is your prompt here. You are going to pick a page to edit. You are going to make your edits, and it can be anything. So any page. So I know there's certain verbiage in the assignment, and again, that's just kind of a cover your ass sort of thing for me. But truth be told, I'm cool with pretty much any Wikipedia page that you want to edit, so long as you make a significant and meaningful edit. Now, if you're not sure whether or not I'm cool with the page that you want to edit, then you can go ahead and just ask me, Austin J. at Missouri.edu, any place, anytime, any town. Just ask me and I will let you know whether or not it is a yay or a nay on that page. But 99% of the time it's going to be a yay. And I do want you to find something that you are interested in, because then you will do better on the assignment. Like, for instance, if you're not interested in, I don't know, Kobe Jack cheese, for instance, but you decide that that's what you're going to edit your page on for some reason because you want to get scholarly sources about it or something like that, you may not do as well as somebody who, loves, I don't know, Ben Sharin and decides, or who's popular today. I don't know. I'm old. Somebody who loves, I don't even know, but like your favorite musical group or something like that. If you decide to make an edit to their page, that might allow you to perform better on this assignment. So I am leaving it open for you all to pick the page that you want to edit. And if you want to actually create a page, I did get a email about this. Yes, you're welcome to create your page from scratch. In fact, I am always impressed when my students do that. I've had 1 or 2 students each semester that decide they're just going to create their own page. It's usually something related to their hometown that doesn't get enough attention, and so that's great. So yes, that's an option too. You don't have to edit an existing page. If you want to create a page, just go for it. And if you are uncertain as to whether the page you're creating is viable, again, go ahead and email me and we will chop that up and I will give you the yes or the no and we will proceed from there. So, that is that. After you, we've got some resources on how to make Wikipedia edits, but also you as librarians should be doing your own self-directed research as well. So if you aren't getting enough information from the links that are in this class, go ahead and Google for some links as well on how to make effective Wikipedia edits and that sort of thing. Just go from there. And then you do have a paper that you turn in, kind of a reflection paper that you will turn in from there. And this is important. So the reflection paper that you do can correspond to student learning outcome number 4 on your e-portfolio. So that's something that I want you to keep in mind as well. If you, once you complete your paper, you may want to save it so that you can use that for your e-portfolio. All right. I know you're not thinking about your e-portfolios right now because that's quite a ways away. Most of you are very early in the program if you're taking this class, but still, you are going to want to save 3 assignments for each student learning outcome. And the student learning outcomes, actually, I'll pull those up. I'll show you how to get to the student learning outcomes too. So that's not really what I wanted to do. Sorry. Okay. All right, so CISL, and if you're looking for your student learning outcomes, what you would do from our homepage is you're going to come to degrees and programs, and then you're going to go to MLIS, Masters of Library and Information Science. You're going to click on that, and then you're going to scroll down, and you will see past the alumni spotlights. You will see program goals and student learning outcomes, and you will, for your e-portfolio, you are going to need 3 assignments for each of the student learning outcomes. So for this class, of course, because the reference class is a public services class anyway, you're going to be focused on goal 4, service-based and user-focused nature in the information professions, and the Wikipedia edit assignment and the LibGuide as well. Both of those assignments are going to correspond with student learning outcome 4, so you may want to save those for your e-portfolio, and that will save you some headaches later on. So again, you will write that edit and reflections. You will write a reflections report related to what you do with Wikipedia. Please also know that you are going to need to have a references page. Or in grad school, you are building on the knowledge and the scholarship of others when you're in grad school. So do not turn in a reflections page or a reflections report that does not incorporate sources. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have 100 sources and really have to put something together that reads like a thesis or a dissertation, but, humor me, incorporate 2 or 3 sources at least, make some arguments, and just either incorporate or build on the knowledge that's already out there. That's what you all as scholars should be doing. All right. So having said that, now I just want to get into some of the context of the assignment and let you all know exactly why you're doing the assignment. So here's the thing. The reason why this is my favorite assignment that I assign in all of my classes for CISL is because this is an assignment with real world application. So what you do with this Wikipedia assignment, it affects not just your future career and not just your grade and your performance in this class, but this is actually external. It helps make, in my opinion, and I know I'm probably overly romanticizing, but this gives, to me, this helps make the outside world better. It's not just something internal to the class, it's external. You are actually editing something that somebody may come across someday in the future, and you are providing better information to the public at large through doing your Wikipedia edit assignment. And that's why this assignment is special to me. That's why it's my favorite assignment to offer. It allows my students to make an immediate real world impact, and I just love that. But some things to note about Wikipedia are going to be that Wikipedia is a very controversial resource, and there are still some things being said about Wikipedia that aren't exactly true, including people are like, a lot of people won't allow you to cite Wikipedia in your actual academic assignments, and I am one of those people. No, don't get me wrong. You can cite Wikipedia for this assignment because it would be relevant for this assignment. And there are other times when you would cite Wikipedia, but you wouldn't cite Wikipedia traditionally as a source. But one of the things that I hear a lot from students is that Wikipedia is not a reliable source because it's inaccurate, and that's not necessarily the case. Wikipedia actually is about as accurate as the mass encyclopedias that you used to have. If you are old enough, you may remember that there used to be like Encyclopedia Britannica. I used to have one of those in my house when I was a little kid, actually, a set of those encyclopedias. And there are other, and other encyclopedias that are out there. But yeah, Wikipedia has it's about as accurate as the encyclopedias that are still in print today, or if they're online, they're still online today. Wikipedia's problem is not accuracy. Wikipedia has two main problems, and those problems are instability and authority. So what I mean by those is, with authority, basically Wikipedia has a lot of information in it, but it's not really always clear who the author is. And so one thing that you want to do when you're evaluating sources is you do want to know who wrote a source. And you might want to, from there, you would want to know what their motivations are for writing a source. So if somebody writes a newspaper article, you may want to know who that person is, who they're reporting for. If they are reporting for the New York Times, they may word things differently from those who are reporting for the New York Post. So those are some things that you have to keep in mind, is that when it comes to authority, for it not to be clear who your author is, or with Wikipedia, it's kind of clear who the author is, maybe, but you still have to do some digging. So I wouldn't call it clear. It's murky and muddy in Wikipedia who the author is. And that can be problematic because when you know who the author is, that helps you better determine what their motivations are, why they're putting this information out, why they are publishing in this particular magazine, journal, or newspaper, and that sort of thing. So yes, Wikipedia, the authorship or authority is one big reason why you have to question Wikipedia as a source that can be cited for class. And the other reason, the instability, is because typically when you have a journal, magazine, or newspaper article, they are pretty much, when they're published and then a year later, they pretty much have the same content. And they may have corrections, and it's best practice to note the corrections at the end, to say this article has been updated to correct such and such, or something of that nature. And when you do that, that way, that makes the source stable. That makes the source say the same thing on October 13th, 2021, that it's going to say on October 13th, 2031. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Wikipedia, Wikipedia can say something at 8 o'clock and say something totally different at 9 o'clock. And so you have an instability of the source, and that is the other reason. That doesn't necessarily make the source inaccurate, though. That doesn't make Wikipedia inaccurate, but still it's unstable as a source. If something can say something at 8 o'clock and then at 9 o'clock it's saying something completely different because somebody deleted or added significantly to it, then that has to be taken into account. And the thing is, things change, and so things get updated. Like, for instance, this is a terrible example, but I'm trying to not be too long on this video. So I would say that, let's say that Wikipedia was around in the early 90s, and Wikipedia one day calls a certain country the USSR, and then the next day it is calling this country a whole bunch of different other things, or there are a bunch of different other countries, and one of them is this country called Russia, right? So that doesn't mean, like, the country, the USSR, could have existed when the Wikipedia page was created, but then the things have to change, when the USSR is dissolved, and then you have Russia. And so there is a USSR Wikipedia page. I happen to know this just because, yeah. But there's a Wikipedia page for a lot of stuff. So yeah, Wikipedia, if you have something that facts, things change. Facts develop throughout, as time goes on. And so when you have a situation where information changes and where there's more information, or information that used to be true is no longer true, things that used to exist no longer exist, and things of that nature. Yes, the things that describe these things have to be updated as well. And so those updates do not necessarily mean that they do not necessarily reflect inaccuracy, if that makes sense. So if I'm looking at a Wikipedia page in 1989, then if it describes the USSR as a country that is, that's not inaccurate. But then if I'm looking at Wikipedia in 1999, and in 1999, it describes the USSR as a country that was, that's not inaccurate either, but still, it's different. I hope this makes sense. I know I'm describing it in a weird way, but yes, that's why the problem with Wikipedia is not inaccuracy, it's authority and it's instability. So with that said, we are going to look at a few things here. There are two things that I want to show you, and then we'll close. So first, I do want to talk about some of the reasons why I do want librarians to always have a handle on what's going on with Wikipedia. And the reason for that is because I feel that Wikipedia, just like social media is being used as a weapon by governments against other governments and by people against other people, I think the same can happen with Wikipedia. It's kind of like, you all know by now that like Facebook, Twitter, probably Twitter especially, these social media platforms, they have trolls on them, and they have people who are not who they claim to be, and they have people who are working for, let's say they're working for Russia or China, and they are posing as Americans and baiting Americans into arguments and turning Americans against each other, getting them wound up and distracting them and all that sort of thing. Social media allows people to get away with doing those sorts of things. And Wikipedia, although Wikipedia has a very, very intricate and very, I think, actually a very successful and very effective, peer editing system in place, even though it has that, I still think that Wikipedia could also be weaponized. I think that agents of foreign countries and trolls and that sort of thing could still use Wikipedia to spread false information or disinformation or, I think malinformation, all of these things. And if you don't know what disinformation and misinformation and malinformation are, Google those terms, and those are good things for you to know if you're going to be an information professional, but I'm not going to take the time here, as I'm trying to keep this video under 35 minutes, to explain what those different concepts are. But malinformation especially, I think malinformation could be spread through a resource like Wikipedia. And I think it could be dangerous. And one of the reasons why I had this concern is if you look at this is something that worries me. Meet the man behind a third of what's on Wikipedia. No, that to me is really, really scary. For there to be this huge information resource out there that's usually one of the first returns that you get on Google and all of this and that. And nobody really knows nobody really pays attention to who's editing this and adding pages, building pages, who's taking information out of pages and so forth. And it turns out that Wikipedia has thousands of things on it. And it turns out that about a third of the content on Wikipedia has been put there by this one guy, the Stephen Pruitt man, who he has made, and this article, by the way, is a few years old. It's 2 years old. So he's made nearly 3 million edits on Wikipedia and written 35,000 original articles. Who the hell is this guy? Because this guy is playing a major impact on the information that information consumers are consuming. Who is he? Who is he? What are his credentials? What makes him the authority? What gives him the the authority and the perspective to actually put all of this information out there and have millions and millions of people in this country and perhaps even around the world trusting what he puts out there. That to me is a big deal. And by the way, I'm a former newspaper reporter, so part of this is me being a former journalist. I think as a librarian and as a journalist, those are, competing things that I have in my head. So yeah, it bugs the hell out of me that there is somebody who you have this huge information resource online, and there's this guy that people don't know that much about who has put about a third of that information in there. That to me is some scary stuff. Now, when I first started doing this, there wasn't a Wikipedia page. When I came here in 2018 to start teaching for CISL, there wasn't a Wikipedia page for Stephen Pruitt, but now there is, thankfully. And there needs to be. And this guy needs to be watched because, it's hard to know what his intentions are. We don't know that much about him. He went to the College of William and Mary. He lives in somewhere. I don't know where he lives. He used to live in San Antonio, Texas. He used to live in Alexandria, Virginia. We know that he's got an art degree and he sang and all of these things, but we don't really know that much about this guy, and yet he is somebody who is putting a lot of information out there and has a lot of control over information, and apparently has a whole lot of time on his hands, because I can tell you, the typical person is never going to come anywhere close to doing as much work on Wikipedia as he has done. And so this kind of creeps me out, because I'm wondering, where does this end? What if some Russian operative becomes the next Stephen Pruitt? And I apologize to anyone who's in the class who's from Russia, but yes, I am going to say that there is a hostile relationship right now between the United States and the nation of Russia. And so as an American, yes, I'm probably going to side with the U.S. If you have an issue with that, we can hash that out. I don't mean to be offensive, but I'm just going to call it like it is. And I don't think I'm telling a lie when I say that there is a little tension between the U.S. and Russia. Maybe I'm even understating it there. So, but yes, what if some Russian operative is the next Stephen Pruitt and puts out a lot of malinformation against the American public? To me, that could be catastrophic. Again, I'm trying to keep this under 35 minutes, so I'm going to say one last thing here, or introduce one last thing that's going to take about 5 minutes, and then we will close. So the other thing that I want to talk to you about is that I hope that as students and as librarians, you all will participate in editathons. So Wikipedia editathons. These are basically, a Wikipedia editathon is exactly what it sounds. It's like a devoted amount of time where a lot of people from all over the world just dedicate a day or dedicate a few hours to go in and improve Wikipedia pages. And a lot of the people who do this, a lot of people who participate in editathons are either librarians or they are academics. And when it's librarians, they can be improving information about anything. Usually when it's academics, they are improving the information related to things specifically in their field. So like a virologist might actually be the one who, during an editathon, creates a lot of the improvements to a page, for instance, about coronavirus. Okay. So the editathons are good because they allow people who are experts or who are savvy in gauging information. It allows them to set aside time to collaboratively work together, or even working individually, because most of it isn't collaborative. I probably shouldn't have said that, but whether it's collaborative or it's individual, it's a set aside time where academics and librarians and people who are acting in good faith, that's the main thing, people who are acting in good faith are going in and they are setting aside time to make information, a heavily used information source, better for everybody who might be using it. And if you want to Google this and read it, that's fine. Just you can pause the video and then look for Global 24-Hour Wikipedia Editathon kicks off in New Zealand. And this will tell you what happened with this editathon. This was a recent one that happened last month. But also, this might be something that you all want to look at as well. So this is actually, I don't know if it's new, but it's the first time I've seen it, and I love it. This is a LibGuide. This is a LibGuide for Wikipedia editathons. And I believe I've actually met this librarian at a conference. Chelsea, or she might even be one of my former students, I think. I'm not exactly sure now. At this point, I think she's one of my former students. It'll be embarrassing if she's not, but I do know that I've come across her before. But she's put together a lovely, 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 lovely Wikipedia editathon LibGuide here, and there's a lot of great information in here. It tells you what an editathon is, and then you can scroll down. So what is a editathon? Why is it important? What is Wikipedia? How I built this? The importance of editing. That's all great. And then teaching yourself. All of these little tabs here that are apart from the main tab. These are tabs that contain a lot of great information. So this is something you also may want to review, this LibGuide for the Wikipedia Editathon, teaching yourself. It also teaches you a little bit about editing Wikipedia and that sort of thing. So I would recommend that you also Google this. If you Google UNLV Wikipedia Editathon LibGuide, this should come up, or you actually have a URL here. I know though that you probably don't want to actually take the time to type that URL in, but this is some good stuff right here. And so I would encourage you all to take a look at this, and this might help get some ideas going as you are well as you are preparing your Wikipedia edit, or as you are brainstorming how you're going to approach this assignment. And I will also say that this is also a good LibGuide. It's not the best LibGuide in the world, but it's actually a very, very good LibGuide. It's very well designed. The information is very well categorized and everything. So this is also a LibGuide that is an example of a good LibGuide for your LibGuide assignment later on. So, and by the way, I did just take the time to Google and look, and no, she is not one of my former students, thankfully, because again, that would have been very embarrassing if she were one of my former students and I couldn't remember her. But I know that as I teach longer and longer, that's going to be the case, that I'm going to have some students that I'm just not going to remember. But hopefully I will remember most of you. I love all of you, whether or not I remember you or not. But yes, thankfully she is not one of my former students. I think she and I are mutual followers on Twitter, so I think that's why I am familiar with her. But anyway, having said that, we will wrap it up right there. If you have any questions, email me at any time, alstonj@missouri.edu. Email me from any place, anytime, any town, and we will be back next week. Love you guys, and take care of yourself. I am Dr. Jace, and please treat your fellow humankind with peace and grace. I am out.